All right, I'm out here with Kristen. We're gonna tinker on the trailer a little bit. Not sure exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna make a list of some things. But I lifted the tent off and I just left the whole rack right attached to it. Made it super easy to take off. Hopefully getting it on will be just as easy. So, not sure exactly what I'm gonna do. I might do some more wiring and hook up some amber parking lights here because Connecticut requires those. Or I may start cutting out these bulkheads for extra access to the storage in the engine bay. That might be some of it. So let's see where we end up. So I'm working with this guy on Instagram, Neutron Engines, and he's doing something very cool. I mentioned it once before in my, I believe it was my Q&A segment I did on Instagram, or on YouTube. So Neutron Engines on Instagram is working on something very cool, and I'm happy to help him any way I can. So what he's doing is he's taking two K series engines and he's essentially making a V8 out of them. So it's going to be a K8. I don't know. This is pretty amazing stuff to me. The guy seems really serious that he's actually doing this. So what he needed from me was a 3D scan of the Nsx Engine Bay. And he actually reached out to a 3D scanning company here in Connecticut, and they were supposed to schedule a time where they were going to come here and scan the engine bay because I have the Nsx trailer, which is engineless, so the bay is naked other than the electronics I put in it. However, I'm on a deadline to finish this thing. I don't want to keep waiting for these people to schedule me in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an iPhone 12 Pro because they have LiDAR on them. I'm filming this on an iPhone 11, but my girlfriend has the iPhone 12 Pro. And I'm going to download a 3D scanning app. Hopefully it works out for the guy. Like I said, I want to help him. I'm going to do the best I can. But I'm on a deadline. And right now I'm about to cut the engine bay on this thing and to make extra storage. So before I do that, I'm going to do the best I can and scan it. I'll film the process. So we're going to try to do this one in low res. I just did one in high res, so it's pretty cool. Basically everything that's green, it needs to get. We just did a high res one and I emailed it to myself successfully. I'm not really sure how to get the measurements on it. The app does have the option. So this is the low res one. Pretty cool. And I'm not sure, it has all these different textures. So hopefully this is enough to help him do whatever he needs to do, because I would love to see 2K24 V8s or even 2K20 anything's V8s inside this. So Neutron Engines, if this helps, I'm happy that I could help you. And when this finally comes to fruition, if you need a guinea pig to drop this thing in their car, that's me. I would happily drop it in one of them. All right, so here's the engine bay. I can move it around, go around. See how it's so much smaller? Well, that's because of the percentage. So if I bring it up to 100, so let's move it over here first. So we're gonna move it inside the car just to compare and see how our percentages are. So that's 100%. So we go around here. I think it may be a little bit too high, but try to line it up. So I sent Neutron Engines the 3D scan of the engine bay from the trailer, and hopefully it's useful. Hopefully it helps. So I cut the hole this small because over here there's a wheel well in the engine bay, and over here there's a wheel well in the engine bay. On this side it came about 4 inches more than the wheel well because I have my wiring harness all there, the junction box and the compressor for the air suspension right below it. Now I can always move that stuff and give myself an extra 4 inches. I could cut this whole thing out, but what's going to happen then is no matter what, it's going to have to go kind of in at some point because the wheel wells in there in the frame in the engine bay. So this is just kind of a rough starting point. I'm not really sure where I'm going to go from here. But there is going to be some kind of floor in here, and this will give me access to the whole thing. It gives me so much more room for storage, just because otherwise I'd have to design some kind of hinge system for the tent. That would make the tent kind of lift up here like that, and then I can get to the engine bay through the hatch. I'm sure it's doable. It's just I don't really have the time or patience for it right now. I just want to finish this project. So anyway, I'm glad I cut a hole in it. It gives me a lot more room for storage, and there's something special that I've always wanted that I'm going to be keeping in there, and that's another reason why this hole had to be cut. And I will unveil that shortly. Stay tuned. All right, Eddie came over and he interrupted my progress on cutting holes. But say hi, Eddie.
Hi.
All right, so we're gonna start mounting the doors now while I have them here. It's good to have two people to do it because I can't really hold them up and kind of screw them in or figure out how to mount them with the proper gap body lines and all that. So I got these messed up doors over there. I'll talk more about those, and I'm gonna try to get them on with him. All right, so these doors actually came with latches, so they do hold themselves on there. We just popped it on. It's going to be difficult to get the body gaps to line up and have it fit well. But you can see it's all dented too. This whole door is actually bowed. Might be a little challenging. Let's see if I can get it on camera. See down there how it's all pushed in? I actually made the whole door bow out. But we're going to do our best to manipulate it, massage it in, so hopefully we can get it. So Eddie convinced me to cut my side skirts too short.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, no, Eddie told me to cut them longer, and I did cut them longer, just not as long as he said, and then I ended up adding this piece of metal in the front, which lengthened the whole thing. So since my side skirts were cutting or stopping like an inch past, I needed to go 2 inches past. So what I'm doing is plastic welding everything. So you guys get to see that process. Fun stuff. All right, making side skirts longer. I should have just done in the first place.
Plug that in. I hate this, man. You get a notch in the tape and you're done. The whole roll.
What happened here? I must have been dragging or something.
Yeah, when it got crashed. 40 times. This dude just used to haul ass and crash all the time. He just had so much money. Just got
the guy I bought the car from?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Crashed a bunch of times.
Just like, oh, I'll get it repaired, don't worry.
Alright, so while Eddie's taping that up, and he's just trying to make the gap as even and as tight and small as possible.
Squigglies.
Smells really disgusting.
I bet. Some beautiful 90s chemicals.
ASMR.
Oh my goodness, I almost fell back and sued you.
ASMR plastic welding.
Sick close-ups, bro.
All right, Eddie. We should have cut them this long in the first place, but now they're there. So I'll have to cut off a few inches so they're flush with that. Well, so all I really needed was like 3/4 of an inch. I cut it too short. In my defense, though, I was not planning on putting this piece of metal there. I was planning on doing 1-inch stuff, so it would have been perfect. But, yeah, plans changed. That's what happens when you wing it, I guess. So the doors are now on. They need to be welded in place and cut. I think I'm just going to do this original plan, this angle, for simplicity. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate the support. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe below. And stay tuned for more videos coming shortly. I try to release one every week. Thanks.